Hello and welcome to the in-depth series section of Drishti IAS. I'm Aisha, and in today's episode we will be discussing about the Telecommunication Act 2023, which has now been notified. So the Telecommunication Act 2023 was passed in December 2023, was passed in the Parliament and also got the President's assent. But now the Act has been notified. So let us first understand the timeline. First we will be looking at the news, then what is Telecommunication Act 2023 and what are the special features of this act, and then a prelims practice question. Topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 2 and paper 3. From paper 2, that is acts, and paper 3, that is infrastructure and communication. Becomes important from exam perspective as it is an, first of all, provisions of the act can be asked in both prelims and mains. So let's begin. And the news talks about the center notifies new Telecom Act. The center notifies new Telecom Act effective June 26, and it replaces the 138-year-old Telegraph Act. So the new Telecom Act has been now notified, and it will be effective from June 26th, and the new Telecom Act has replaced the 138-year-old Telegraph Act, and this is what makes this act so special. And then so the center has partially notified. So the Telecommunication Act of 2023 has not been completely notified, partially notified. It means few of the provisions or sections of the act has been notified, while few have not been notified by now. So center has partially notified Telecommunication Act 2023, which will be effective from June 26th, and the section 1, 2, and then from section 10 to section 30, section 42 to 44, 46, 47, and then section 50 to 58, and then section 61 and 62. So these are the sections of the act which has been notified. So, and that is why it is said that it is partially notified, because all the sections have not been notified by now. And it is replacing the 138-year-old Indian Telegraph Act of 1885 and the Indian Wireless Telegraph Act of 1993. So a 138-year-old acts have been now replaced. So you can imagine that how much time period and how long it took to replace the 100-year-old act. And the aim of the Telecommunication or the new Telecom Act is that to amend and consolidate law relating to development, expansion and operation. Development, expansion and operation of telecommunication services and telecommunication networks, assignment of spectrum, etc. So it basically works towards the development. It means making the telecommunication sector all the more consolidated. Expansion, that it should be expanded to new horizons and to new spaces. And then operation of the telecommunication services and networks. So the funda is about development, expansion and operation. And the guide on which the Telecommunication Act will work is the principles of Samavesh, that is inclusion, Suraksha, that is security, Vriddhi, that is growth, and Twarit, that is responsiveness. So these are the principles, these are the guiding principles for the new Telecom Act, and that is inclusion, security, growth and responsiveness. And the act aims to achieve the vision of Viksit Bharat, that is developed India. As the 138-year-old act now being replaced, it means that the technology was needed, the update was needed, and the development was needed in the act. As of now, if we look at the present scenario, then the telecommunication sector has come a long way, but the act which was governing the telecommunication sector was a century old, and that is what is creating the problem, because a newness and a developed feature was required, and that is why this amendment and this this new act becomes all the more important. Then comes the features of this act. So the Telecommunication Act will be working on reducing uncertainties and improving investors' confidence, and will be a step towards ease of doing business. Ease of doing business with regard to the telecommunication sector. So uncertainties will be reduced, and then the investors' confidence should improve, because telecommunication sector, the big powerhouses or the big businesses are the business which enters into this sector, because this is a very capital intensive sector. So investors' confidence becomes very, very important. Then the focus is on user protection, reforms on right of way, and optimal spectrum utilization. So this is the focus area. First is user protection. So all the consumers and the customers, their rights must be protected. Then reforms on right of way. So this is one of the highlight of the act, that the right of way. It means that how the things should be done, and whatever is important and necessary, that needs to be done in the right way. And then optimal spectrum utilization. So whatever spectrum is what we have as a country, then the utilization of that spectrum with regard to the signals or the waves should be utilized efficiently. Then few of the features with regard to different aspects of the Telecom Act is, first is with regard to national security. So national security, the new rules extend to the whole of India, and any offense committed or contravention made outside India by any person. So with regard to complete India and also outside India, if anything is done with regard to the national security, then this will be covered under the act. Then this act will allow the government to temporarily take control of telecom services in the interest of national security. So if it is about the internal security or the national security of the nation, then the center becomes all the more powerful, and the government can take control of the telecom services. But this will not be permanent, this will be for temporary basis. So this will be for temporary basis. Then the center can take control and management of, or suspend the operation of, or entrust any authority of the center to manage any or all of any telecommunication services. So in case of national security, with regard to the national security, the center can take control of the management, or can also suspend any telecommunication services if it is with regard to the national security. So with regard to the national security, the center or the government becomes very powerful with regard to this Telecom Act. Then comes the public safety aspect, and that is the telecom operators use verifiable biometric identification, that is Aadhaar, for new SIM card or any kind of connection. So under this act, if anyone wants a new SIM card or new connection, then that should be on the basis of Aadhaar or biometric identification, and this will be in public safety aspect. Then individuals to have a maximum of 9 SIM cards in their name. So the act says that a single individual can have 9 SIM cards under his or her name, and if it is about Jammu and Kashmir, then a person can have 6 SIM cards, and also with regard to the northeastern states, a person can have 6 SIM cards. And if any person will be found breaching this line of number of SIM cards under a person's name, then that will be punishable under the act. Then this was about the public safety aspect. Then auction route is the preferred mode for assignment of spectrum. So if whenever the spectrum allocation will be done, then auction route will be the preferred choice. Then administrative process can be used for 3 clearly defined purposes. So administrative process will be for public interest like metro, community radio broadcasting. Second, government functions like defense, railways, police, and third is technical or economic reasons like black hole or satellite. So this will be with regard to the administrative process. Now let us talk about next aspect, and that is digital by design. As the new Telecom Act, which has now been notified, it replaces the 138-year-old Telegraph Act, and the new act also has a provision with regard to the digitization, because the Indian Prime Minister has also very much emphasized on the digital India, and a push towards the digitalized world is also very important. And as of now, even the government is focusing on digitalizing many things. So the digital push is also being given in this new Telecom Act. So digital by design. So the Universal Service Obligation Fund will become the Digital Bharat Nidhi. So the Digital Bharat Nidhi, and which will be used to fund research and development and pilot projects within the telecommunication section. So for the research and development, that is the R&D, for launching any kind of pilot project with regard to the telecommunication section. So the Digital Bharat Nidhi. So the Digital Bharat Nidhi will look into that. Then comes the protection of users. So from spam and malicious communications. So if we on daily basis, if you check your phones, then there will be 3 to 4 spam calls which you will be receiving. So in this new Telecom Act, a provision with regard to the spam and malicious connections is also given, and will be creating a grievance redressal mechanism for it. Then next is the common duct. So in line with the Prime Minister Gati Shakti vision, the law provides for central government to establish common ducts and cable corridors also. So this also connects with the PM Gati Shakti vision. Then inclusive service delivery. The Telecom Act also expands the scope of Universal Service Obligation Fund to include supporting universal services in under-reserved rural, remote and urban areas. So the rural, remote and urban areas, because they are not very well developed with regard to the digital aspects and also with regard to the telecommunication services. So under the Universal Service Obligation Fund, that under-reserved areas will also be taken into consideration, and the earlier one, that is the Universal Service Obligation Fund, will also be turning into the Digital Bharat Nidhi, and Digital Bharat Nidhi will also be looking into the research and development aspect of it. Then comes the next point, and that is the telcos have to secure user consent for receiving advertising messages. So the telecommunication sectors or the telcos, they will have to take the consent of the user before sending the advertising messages to them. Next, the government can permit telecom infra or on private land under certain cases, even if owner refuses. It is the right way aspect, that is, if any kind of infrastructure needs to be set up, and that infrastructure is coming in between, you can say, some property of any individual, then if that infrastructure is important, then that needs to be done even if the owner refuses. Then commercial messages sent without user consent may get telco suspended. So user consent is required very much with regard to the commercial messages or advertising, or also with regard to the advertising messages, because this can get the telecom company into trouble. So these were few of the features of the new Telecom Act, and this is partial in nature as of now, because all the provisions have not been notified. Some of the provisions have been notified. So in the end, the prelims MCQ, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. That is, the Telecommunications Act 2023 allows individuals to have a maximum of how many SIM cards under their name? That is 6, 9, 3 or 2. So give me the answer in the comment section. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time. Keep reading, keep writing, and keep subscribing to the channel. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe. And do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.